Welcome. Now, I've been watching the commentary community for about a year now, and Turkey Tom, of all people, was actually one of the first channels I subscribed to. And his videos on ImAllex and the Slazo situation, or the electric boogaloo, um, that kept me away from subscribing to Alex for a bit. But then, time went on a little bit, and I started watching iNabber, and then ImAllex, and Willany, and eventually Alex grew on me. I did always keep his broken credibility in mind, and he did seem to stay away from major drama and he just kind of kept to more lighthearted, kind of dumb topics. But recently, Turkey Tom posted a video on the Zapdy situation and Alex's involvement in it. And this is a drama that had happened before I started following this community, so I had no idea about it. And then Comment Cop pointed out a video that Alex recently made where he insinuates that, or calls Perezhilton, a TikToker, a pedophile. Prompted me to take a deeper look at Alex's involvement in these dramas. So and take a look at what he did and maybe what he can do moving forward to not, be a gigantic idiot. But there's a lot to get through, so let's get into it. Starting with just going over all the separate accusations. Going into full detail on each accusation because they've all been covered fairly extensively by other creators, but I will be giving an overarch and my thoughts and mostly just Alex's involvement in them, starting with Zapdy. I was a YouTuber from a few years ago before I was watching this side of YouTube. He did character still commentary, and he also did a podcast with Elvis the Alien and Bionic Pig, called Hot Wet Soup. Loves the name. He was accused of serial cheating, being a sociopath, and most damning of all, being a pedophile. And after looking into the claims and watching Turkey Tom's video on this, I think it's safe to say that there's a couple things that were debunked at this point. While he was cheating with a couple people and talking to a 16-year-old girl while he was 20, and it did later turn out that she was younger because she was lying about her age. But from what I could tell and from what I gathered, he couldn't have really known that she was younger than what she was saying. Yes, him talking to a 16-year-old girl is still gross and a terrible, bad decision. It doesn't make him a pedophile. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. But the two narratives that destroyed him were the sociopath and pedophile narratives, and Alex pushed both of them very heavily. Zapdy and Alex were reportedly friends before all this, and I want you to keep that in mind for later. But it doesn't even feel like Alex doubted any of it. He just jumped on it as soon as he saw other people jumping on it. And he helped take control of that narrative. And they didn't even give Zapdy a chance to defend himself. They were saying things on podcasts and videos and, turned the entire community against his old friend over somewhat shaky allegations. And as for the sociopath thing, he was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, which is not the same thing, as he stated in a post before pretty much disappearing from the internet. Now, looking at this, I can see how things unfolded and when and why Alex jumped on that narrative. And it wasn't really till recently that things came to light, I guess. I still think it's a little weird that he would just flip on a friend that quickly with no hesitation, but you know, maybe it's just a one-off. Let's jump forward to one of the biggest sub-loss dramas ever on YouTube, the Tati Westbrook, James Charles, bi-sister drama. Because of the magnitude of this, I'm not going to be covering the whole thing because it was very big, very kind of confusing at one point, and then it ended really weird. So I'm just going to give a basic overview of the beginning until where Alex got involved, and then go from there. Basically, a beauty YouTuber named Tati Westbrook made a takedown video on another younger, bigger beauty YouTuber named James Charles. They were friends at the time. He went to Coachella and promoted a rival company's brand for security reasons. She got mad, called him a shitty person, and said that he uses his fame to reel in straight guys. And then Jeffree Star chimed in, calling him a predator and a danger to society, which is honestly when I kind of started to doubt that side. But at this time is where Alex chimes in. Alex jumped on the James Charles hate train because that's where everyone was at this point. But then James Charles posted a very, very good rebuttal, pretty much debunking most of the claims that Tati had made in her video, and then it just ended. But Alex, pretty much right after James made his video, made a video defending James Charles, and then two more on the Tati Westbrook side, I guess, being critical of them. He flip-flopped very fast. I mean, his original James Charles video is no longer up. I mean, on his channel, there is re-uploads. And while he did flip-flop really fast, I don't think this one is as bad as the others. Partially because that's where pretty much the whole of YouTube was. I mean, James Charles lost like 3 million subscribers in like a week. In like less than a week, I think. Like, he jumped on the side that everyone thought was correct. The flip-flop was very blatant, but understandable in this situation. Now, I still hadn't jumped into commentary at all, really, until a little bit after this drama. So I kind of just saw it from the outside. Philly D had mentioned it, and I mean, that was about it. So I saw it from more of a retrospective angle when it was all said and done and the right opinion had put his video out on it. But then the drama that got me really fully invested in following the commentary community, let's jump into the Slazo situation. Now, I'm not going to go over the entire Slazo drama because it happened in the last year and it did get very, very, very messy by the end. But it started with a creator named Che posting a twit longer exposing her ex-boyfriend Slazo for being a very bad boyfriend and very pushy and very predatory. And he was 16 at the time of the relationship and she was 14. And so, I mean, there was extra responsibility on him. And a lot of creators, including Alex, jumped to the defense of Che. A lot of creators dogpiled Slazo before he could even respond to the allegations. But I personally feel Slazo did the smart thing in this situation by holding off until he could do a well thought out formulated response and actually be able to debunk some of the claims in the TwitLonger. And when he did, this was Alex's response.
Hello guys, I want to try and put this in as a concise way as possible, but this is my response to Michael and Slazo's video. There's a limit on this, so if I'm brushing over things, I'm trying not to. I just want to put everything in here in a place that is easy for people to be able to get to. I want to make a statement because of the fact that obviously I came out and supported Che when she posted her TwitLonger, and obviously now Michael's video has come out where he's debunked some of the things that were put in there. First of all, I already knew that some of the screenshots that were used in Che's TwitLonger were jokes. I was very much aware of that, but I never had an issue with that, and I want to make that clear. Stupid jokes are stupid jokes. I don't think that's the problem. My problem with Michael was him admitting to doing things that he knew Che may not have wanted to do and being incredibly forceful and almost demanding, which he admitted to doing in his video, which for me is still disgusting. I don't believe he's innocent. I don't think he's innocent at all. Che may not also be innocent and may have hid stuff and used jokes to try and maybe push a certain agenda, but at the same time the stuff that Michael admitted to is stuff that makes me not want to be friends with somebody who is capable of doing those things, even the things he admitted to. I really hope he gets help, because nobody should just carry on doing what he did, and he should try and improve himself, but I personally don't want anything to do with somebody who even managed to admit to some of the stuff that he had apparently done, and that's literally it. That's how I feel about it. I never accused Michael of doing anything, but after what's come out, I really just don't want anything to do with him.
I really understood why he took this stance, or why he responded like this. He skips right past Slazo debunking things and jumps really fast to him admitting things. And well, yeah, Slazo did admit to being a bad boyfriend, and later, he at some point admitted to trying to boost Che's sex drive by suggesting she either goes off or changes her antidepressants, which, I mean, obviously not a good thing to do. But he seemed like he had owned up to it, and he seemed like he was trying to do better. And the way he painted the way he showed the more full conversations of the screenshots that Che had posted made it feel like Che was lying and hiding things and manipulating information to paint Slazo as worse than he is. And Alex doubled down on that. And I don't get that. Video just feels like he knew more, or was waiting for more, I guess, more accurately, because more didn't really come out. I mean, that's really where that drama should have ended. I mean, he did eventually apologize to Slazo, but in my opinion, I think it should have been a video. But I still think the weirdest part of this is the fact that him and Slazo, again, like Zapdy, were friends. But I didn't know that the first time going through all this drama. So I always thought that was really weird that Alex turned on his friend that harshly and quickly. Until Turkey Tom's video on the Zapdy, because it really shined a new light on Alex. Recent thing with Perezhilton, a TikToker, where Alex insinuates that he's a pedophile and obsessed with Charli D'Amelio, a teenage girl with the biggest following on TikTok, for making a few videos concerned that a teenage girl is dancing to provocative songs on TikTok. Does Alex forget the fact that he made multiple videos on Danielle Cohn, who was being exploited sexually at 13? So just a quick little editor's note. I know that a lot of people were making videos on Danielle Cohn. It's just the fact that Alex called out Perezhilton for the same thing when he had done. Yeah, it was just a hypocrisy, not the fact that people were talking about her at all, I guess. Like, it's so hypocritical, and it pisses me off. Like, while we're talking about hypocrisy, I just want to talk about his defending James Charles video for one more second. Because for most of it, he goes on saying, oh, you shouldn't falsely accuse people of things, after he had twice at this point, and would go on to do it again. Back to Perez, I might not fully agree with what he's saying, but he's not a pedophile. Like, I think it was an extremely poor taste of Alex, and it was a really, really fucking stupid of him to say that. But I don't think it was malicious. I think he's just a fucking idiot. Now, I do feel like there is a small portion of the community that has been just waiting for him to slip up like this so that they can cancel him. That's not really what this video is for me. Like I said, I watch his videos now. I mean, him and his group of friends have all influenced me making this channel again in some capacity. But I do truly hope that one of them says something to him. Like, not even publicly, just someone needs to take him aside and tell him, look, Alex, you're being a fucking idiot. Think before you call people pedophiles or predators or just think before you post your videos. Or just post on the eBoys, because that's really the only place that I enjoy you anymore, to be honest. Wow, that went in a different direction at the end there. I do hope that he realizes that he can't hide behind Willany and Memeless forever, because his antics will eventually start affecting them, and he could get cast out and end up going the way of Zapdy. Cancelled. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. It was really weird making a video on someone that I actually watched, but it did make the research a little bit more enjoyable, so that might be a little bit more regular thing. Hopefully he learned something soon. Anyways, leave a like if you liked, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.